Suck a look at you.
You're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast.
Hello out there and welcome. It is March 2nd and you're listening to the Jersey Tuck Podcast. We're another week into 2021 and another week away from when sports cards used to be fun to collect. Unfortunately, at the beginning of the recording this week, we lost the first 2 minutes due to some sort of technical issue, so you'll notice that the pod kind of starts abruptly, but I just figured I'd let you guys know, and let's get to it.
Leading events of turf, diamond, and gridiron for your entertainment.
Watch this.
I would say Mitch knows more about that sort of thing.
I'm so disconnected from it. I have no idea.
Yeah.
We'll all be cracking packs soon for sure.
Soon, we're all just like, oh, I gotta crack that pack.
Saving up for retirement.
So save up, get your investments, hockey cards,
Stonks.
The stream...
sports stocks.
At the moment, the stream seems to be a bit unstable, so we'll monitor that for the time being, but we are recording. And as I said, you're listening to Jersey Talk Podcast. I'm here with Fred, Tyrell, and Josh. Got a couple things to talk about this week. We're down a member this week. We are down Mitch. He's not feeling too well, so we wish him the best. And yeah, we're just gonna take it as the guys from No Dunks would say, super cash. This pod,
Super cash.
We got some topics, but nothing too pressing, nothing too dramatic. Should be fun. I think the first topic that we'll go into this week is Kyrie Irving bringing up his idea that the NBA logo, it's been said before that he wants the NBA logo changed to Kobe Bryant. As I've said, this has been said by a few players before, and not necessarily Kobe Bryant, but people say that Jerry West has been there too long. Jerry West himself, he does not care. No. He says, "Hey, I've been there. He wasn't even asked, so he doesn't get any kind of licensing or anything like that.
They just put him there.
He's just been there and been exploited for 60 years, 50 years.
60, yeah.
So I would like to get your guys' thoughts on that. If any of you guys want to chime in right away.
So in the prep for the show, I watched the video that we had shared, and I just want to just in passing first just say how cringy sometimes I find Max Kellerman in that conversation. Like I was like, ooh.
I didn't sorry, I didn't get to catch the first take one, but yeah, I can only imagine.
Yeah, like in that conversation, it was a little, ugh. But like outside of that, like I can see like the points being made. Mainly, and like Stephen A's like stance on the fact that it should be Michael Jordan, right? Like, of course, he's gonna lean towards Michael Jordan. Like, but like I find it interesting because like I find Kobe Bryant, like, he's not only, maybe even just in this generation, he's not only just up there in like his, I guess like his skill, not just his skill level, but like what he's accomplished as a player, but also like culturally.
Yes. Like
Kobe Bryant's gone, like even in our generation, like I don't want to say beyond what Jordan has because it's a kind of a different generation. Mm-hmm. They're separated, but right now it's kind of like it would be a bit more. It would capture more of this current generation to put Kobe in if you're going to update the logo, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will say the logo that they did tweet out. I'm not sure if it was retweeted by Kyrie, but it's been around. It's been kicking around for a while. Mm-hmm. It's not quite a silhouette. I'm assuming when Kyrie says he wants the logo change, it's probably something along the lines of what it is now, except a silhouette of Kobe. Yeah. But Kobe. Yeah, the one that was tweeted out, it's easy to find. I'm pretty sure you just search NBA logo and the Kobe one shows up. It's nice. It's clean, but it's weird just to see a non-silhouetted player representing the league. I'm not big on it. What were your thoughts, Tyrell?
Yeah, like honestly, I think Michael Jordan. should be the
Yeah.
logo. Like,
Yeah.
it would be kind of weird because like it could be mixed up between like him and the Jumpman, I guess. Like,
True.
I was gonna say the same thing.
if you think Michael Jordan, you think like Jumpman. So I guess in that sense, it'd be hard to kind of do.
That's a good point.
But like Kobe, LeBron, everyone based their game off Michael Jordan, and like he just still has such a huge impact through like the younger generations. I know Kobe and LeBron were like the culture for us growing up.
Yeah.
But when we think of the GOAT, it's always Michael Jordan. You know,
Always.
like it is like a debate between like runner up between LeBron and Kobe, but
Yeah,
Mhm.
I don't think there's any debate for like who the best is.
I can get behind that for sure.
Yeah. Fred, what do you think about a logo being around forever and switching? Something that's been around forever is just similar to the NHL, the MLB. What would it be like to
It's
just
always
change?
needed.
You think?
It's always needed. Yeah, man. You always need something fresh every now and then. You know, I'm totally down for it. Like even for example, just the hockey anthems and stuff. They keep changing it. I think it's healthy. You know, keeps everything fresh.
Yeah. I'm with that. I guess for me, like I'm not really like if they changed it to whoever, even if they changed it to Kobe, I wouldn't be like up in arms saying this is a disgrace. You're talking down on all the people that made this league. What about Wilt? What about Oscar Robertson and stuff like that? But like, I wouldn't be like that. But for me, that logo, all it reminds me of, one main thing it reminds me of is playing NBA on NBC, aka NBA Jam for Dreamcast. That classic logo, the classic music. It just reminds you of, I don't know. I just associate that logo, obviously, very closely with it. Hey, it's right there.
I was looking at the whole time you're talking.
It's right there.
Yeah, there it is. Yeah.
It's crazy how like marketing can get in your head like that. Like from now until eternity, whenever I see the NBA dunk comp, I want a Sprite.
Yeah.
I'm not
it's
even
subliminal, right?
I'm not even a Sprite fan, but like Sprite's so refreshing during that dunk comp.
You know what? I'm with you. I've craved a Sprite a few times on some NBA broadcasts because I think LeBron used to be in some Sprite commercials as well.
Yeah, and they used to air like I don't know when it stopped being the Sprite dunk comp. It was a few years ago now, I guess, but it like damage is done. Like just two things I pair together now.
Every time Zion dunks, like, man, I want a Sprite right now.
No, I agree. I agree with Fred though. I think it's healthy for change, and like, you got a primarily African American league, and
that's
recently, it's been some turmoil down in the States with regarding race and stuff. I think it'd be healthy for the NBA.
Change.
Yeah, I think it'd be healthy for the NBA to change it in that regard.
I think
Absolutely.
that's something that the NHL has a problem with, to be honest with you. I think sports like the NBA are a bit more open to it. NHL has such a hard time changing aspects of it, and that's always been a big issue with it. Like over the last, like I'd say there's been a lot more in the last couple of years, but even like the things that have come out about racism and whatnot in the NHL, like I think that's something that would benefit the NHL a lot.
Well, they got that committee now, which is huge.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly. But it's gone a long way. Like just look at all the news and stuff of racism and everything that's come out in the last like year.
Yeah,
right?
it's crazy.
So
absolutely.
Yeah. The NHL would definitely benefit, man. They need to be more like the NBA. The NBA, I find the NBA is a lot more progressive.
Well, you also got to look at it too. NBA is huge, way bigger than the NHL. NHL is like a little small. Like they're nothing in the States when you think about it on the big, it's no NFL. It'll never be an NFL.
Isn't it kind of funny though when you consider the most profitable sports franchises? I'm pretty sure the Leafs are right up there with the Knicks and Cowboys. I'm pretty sure they're right up there, which is wild.
Yeah, they are. But like I don't know what it is, man. It's just like they need to be more open to that fan friendly experience. Like the NHL has a hard time getting away from certain aspects of it. Like you look at even what you've seen this year alone. Like, and Fred, you could probably attest to this. Like the coolness of the fact that they got it split into 4 divisions, and now we're seeing like 3-game sets.
Yeah, it's very like
kind of like baseball, right?
Just like baseball.
But it's such a cool thing, right? And people are loving it. They're like, man, because you get to see these little mini playoff series. It gets people a bit more invested, right? But like the NHL is always dead set on like, no, we want to go back to this divisional format.
Right.
We want to go back to this. We want to stay exactly like they never want to change.
Yeah.
They're only doing it right now out of necessity, and you're seeing how beneficial it is for the sport.
And people are liking it. So
yeah,
is it something that they're going to hold on to, or
you hope so, right?
Yeah.
You hope so. Because the NBA is doing a similar thing right now. They're calling it that's what they've been calling it, like mini baseball series. Like face the same team twice in a row, that kind of thing. It's cool because like it builds a little drama. Like just say some team gets stomped. It's like, are they going to come back, or like how are you going to respond to that? Like the game after. So it's,
you get a narrative, and it just puts more emotion in it.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Like there's a bit more of like there's somewhat of a rivalry. It's not like okay, on to the next team tomorrow night. Okay, on to the next team on Saturday. Like,
and here's
it gets a little less monotonous.
Here's a thought. I feel like for viewers, it might help them learn the league and familiarize themselves with other players more, building that familiarity with certain teams. So if you face the Cavaliers 2 nights in a row, which the Rockets have done recently, not being too successful with, but and you weren't overly familiar with Colin Sexton, you could say that you were well versed in his game after watching 2 games in a row, like back to back. So I think there's some good to come out of it. Yeah.
So I know it is pretty random segue to get to this point, but
go ahead.
I think this, in summation, it's kind of cool how like just out of necessity based on COVID and how it's forced the leagues to do things out of their comfort zone, you've actually seen some kind of good developments.
Yeah.
Like some cool kind of things that they were forced to make changes to. Like I think the NHL will probably stick to that now because also they're going to save money. Like if you do like 3-game sets, like teams don't have to spend so much on travel.
Yeah, for sure.
And stuff like that, right? Like that's a big thing too. Because like I know, especially on the West Coast, teams are up in arms because they have to travel so much more in the Western Conference than they do in the Eastern Conference, right?
No, it's totally true. It's forcing the teams to innovate and like, obviously, I mean, I think the main thing was to make sure they're not going too far one way, too far the other way. Just like saving time in between and not like traveling to too many different places. If you're going to Cleveland, go to Cleveland once. I keep going back to Cleveland. It's just consistency.
No, but it's true. It's true. Then it becomes a yearly thing, right? It's like, the last 2 years, like so-and-so team has lost the Cleveland series.
Yeah.
Can they break it this year? You know what I mean? Like, because it happens every year, but it's only once in a season. That'd be kind of cool, right?
I've been digging it as a spectator. Like, I think it's fun. You like we both said, you get cool narratives that come out of it, and people can write some cool pieces about it. So
See.
I don't know about you guys, but if everything starts opening up soon, I would love to see like just go to a Sens game, watch Habs 10 times. That would be
yeah.
Like I would like. There's nothing worse than going to the Canadian Tire Center, the worst stadium. You got to drive 45 minutes away from the actual city to actually go watch a game, and then you get stuck in traffic for an hour to go home. It's the worst. But I know what? I would go to see the Habs. I just stay at the bar and just have a few
afterwards,
and then wait for traffic.
What's that random country bar that's there, Fred? I'm trying to remember off the top of my head.
Oh my god, I can't remember.
It's hilarious, but that's the one that's like right across the street from. It's one that everyone goes to before and after the game.
Yeah. So I'm gonna lean into something, a little stupid, foolish thing that I brought up in the notes. I think a few of you took a look at it, and basically. And it goes, it goes well with the topic of change and growth in the league. So I was thinking, just watching basketball the other day, I was like, I feel like it would benefit from this really weird change of technology. I want to hear your guys' suggested change of technology, no matter how weird. It could be the weirdest thing. It could be the most practical thing to make one sport, doesn't matter which, better. Do any of you want to start with that?
I looked at this beforehand and I actually wrote mine down there.
Nice.
In the notes. I have the most practical one, and I would just really love for them to get this right because I think anyone who watches hockey will understand how frustrating it is.
Mhm.
And I think it would just save so much goddamn time if they actually nail puck tracking technology where they can just rule out this whole stupid offside
Right.
and whether or not the puck crossed the line business.
Right.
You have it like literally as a computer chip or whatever inside the puck where you know if it went in the net. You know if it crossed the line, like you have it tracked, like it's like bam, it's past the line, like it's a goal. And same with offside. You know, like by looking at the camera, if it says, hey, it's been over the line and you look and you see the player still onside or whatnot, it would save so much damn time, man. Because that's been a big issue in the NHL is it's those two things. Sorry.
Then you can just get rid of the refs. You don't even need them anymore.
Don't even need them anymore.
They're fucking annoying.
They don't
just
call
make round plates.
They don't even call penalties, right? So,
Yeah.
It's a
Use
good
the honor
one.
system.
Yeah, use the honor system. It's a good one because like you think it's obtainable, but you know what? I guess that's part. No, if they can't do it because they would like to cut back on time. I don't know. It might just go back to that whole theme of the NHL being rigid and adverse to change.
Now, mind you, like you'd think that there's no sport in the world that's more rigid than soccer, and even soccer now has gone the route of VAR, right? And they've been using it a lot for onside, offside calls and whether or not the ball's crossed the line.
Right.
So, because they were always about you can't interrupt the game, like the clock never stops.
Yeah.
Right. You can't stop it.
I forgot that about soccer.
You know what I mean? Like, so the clock never stops. Like, you can't interrupt the game. The ref just decides whether or not you add on, like, however many minutes he wants to add on at the end of the game. He just decides arbitrarily. He's like,
sounds
stoppage
so
time. I'm going to
silly.
give
6 minutes. And you're like, all right.
six more minutes at the end. Like, but like they've even gone that route, right? So if they've done it, any sport can, and I think you can make any sport better by doing it. I think the only thing that I don't like is when sports take a long time to make those decisions.
I was going to say, just take it away at this point. I prefer it just go back to the old school way. Yeah. That's just me.
Yeah. I think I agree. Like in a sense, Fred, like if it's going to take the refs like 5 or 6, 7 minutes to make that call with video review, just make it so that it's call on the ice.
All right, Josh, let me just say this. Okay. Your Leafs are like, they're just drowning teams right now. They're like, oh, they're hot, like 7 minutes of just straight pressure. Then there was a goal, and then you're waiting fucking like 10, 15 minutes for this call. You lose all your momentum.
All of it's gone.
It's
so
and frustrating.
The fans lose it too because you're kind of there and you're excited and then you're just waiting.
Yeah.
Right. You lose that kind of like just that flow to the sport. So I understand what soccer is talking, right? Like they're saying exactly that. They're like, no, there's a flow to the game. You just got to keep playing, keep it going.
Yeah.
So
no, that's definitely legitimate because that's kind of a thing that's plaguing sports that use the instant replay and coaches challenges and stuff like that. Like it really does exactly that. It kills some teams' momentum. It takes away the suspense of the game. Yeah. And sometimes it's the simple. If you ever hear Jeff Van Gundy on an NBA ESPN call, he will complain in seconds. If it's taking more than, I would say, 20 seconds, Jeff Van Gundy's speaking up and saying exactly that. Like he sees it, like just like anyone would for the most part. I mean, I'm sure there's calls that are more complex than others, but he sees it, sees the problem. It's like, there it is. There's the problem. Can we say it now? Can we get on the mic now? And it's confusing. It just makes you wonder.
He's like, this is ridiculous.
It just makes you wonder if there's anything else to it. Like, is there any kind of part of the process that we don't know? I have no idea. It just takes too long with everything. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I agree. So that's that's a big roundabout conversation to get back to my point of I just want them to introduce tracking technology that just eliminates that wait.
I think that's
like have a little light go off where it's like, oh, across the line, it's a goal.
I think that's obtainable.
Yeah, I think so too.
Well, they've been trying it this season, right? And then the players were complaining about the feel of the puck. It wasn't the right weight. So they're like, normally think about your head processing, this is how hard I had to pass. And then you realize it's like, oh, it's just like instantly dead or it just goes flying. You're like, something's just, you're used to the same weight your whole life when you're a kid all the way up to now. And now you're trying to change it. It's going to be tough.
You got to nail it. Like, Alex, and maybe like, like Tyrell too, like, whether or not I thought I saw something even more recently too. They tried to do the same thing in the NBA. Was it the NBA too? Where it's like they did something to the balls and they're just like, no, this is weird. Like players didn't like it.
I can't remember that. I do remember them doing a lot of like graphic stuff on the floor, like lighting up the 3-point line if someone's feet were behind it. Like if they shot behind the 3-point line, it would like light up just for a sec, which is kind of cool because you know if it's a triplet they're shooting. But I think it was just a bit too probably gimmicky and weird to put on. One thing that they kept,
it's
which
like
is
the blue
nice.
puck.
Yeah. One thing they kept on a lot of broadcasts, which is nice, is a shot clock. So it's a superimposed shot clock on the key for viewers to see.
That's cool.
Like how long they have to take a shot. But that's a good change. But I can't remember anything about the ball offhand. Probably was, but I can't remember.
Maybe I'm imagining it, right? Like maybe, but like I could have sworn like it was earlier in the season, and like players complained about it too. It was just like the hockey one where it's like they could feel the difference in it, so they just kind of dropped it.
Not sure.
Well, why not? Why not instead of putting like tracking and tracers in the puck and not just put them under the ice itself?
Yeah, put sensors
crazy
on the blue line.
Yeah, sensors on the actual blue line. You
I
can
guess it's all
definitely do
about
it.
cost, but I think that's achievable. Who knows?
It's all low voltage.
Well, honestly, Fred's like, I know.
It's electricity, man. It's only.
It's I agree though, Fred. That would be a cool idea too. Like we'd have to start talking to an engineer about the idea here.
Yeah.
You know, maybe we can get the ball
just
rolling.
think of it. You heard of solar roadways, the whole thing where like if you're on a bike, it's just like everything's done by battery or solar, whatever. It's all underneath, and you just as you're riding your bike, it turns green. Same thing. Same thing with the.
Yeah.
Hey.
Like if the puck actually passes the blue line or whatever, it like lights up. Probably not to the players, but to people on the TV.
Yeah,
and
on
cameras.
the TV,
you know what I mean? Yeah, like at least you would know.
Hey,
You don't have to be a distracting.
Get it
light.
done.
Yeah, I like it. I like the idea. That's actually a lot
Make
better
it
than
happen.
the puck one, right?
Anyone else have a
Ideas.
wacky / practical suggestion before I jump in with mine?
I know I took it over.
I got one for jerseys. A lot less practical than Josh's, but I like to see GoPros on the chest of the jerseys. Just for a different point of view, you know, like I know they came out with that camera angle that's like I don't even know, it's like right by the player's head almost on the baseline.
Yeah.
And I'm like, but it would be so cool just to see like Zion go up on someone and just destroy him at the rim.
You know what? You're totally right. Like, I'm not going to lie. I would love to see how fast Connor McDavid actually flies up that rink. Because they say he can hit up to 40, like 38, 40 kilometers an hour when he's going. Imagine how, like, I'd love to see that. It's almost fast as a car, man.
Like it would be a bit of like a gimmick, I guess, but like you can put it in like highlights after, or like every like you see like a highlight play, you can have like a replay of like the player's point of view.
Just imagine seeing it with an open ice hit. Yeah.
This is your GoPro play brought to you by GoPro. Or,
I was gonna say GoPro.
Yeah.
Rice Krispies. Here's your crispy moment.
Your crispy moment.
Oh, is Tyrell frozen?
GoPro. No.
It's fantastic.
Oh, no. That is the best freeze.
Oh no!
Like, I was also thinking too, how funny would it be if they're like, you got your camera on, I don't know, some fighter, and then I don't know where it's a fight, and you're just like there.
Yeah, you're getting punched. I was gonna say that too, Fred. Like an open ice hit.
An open ice hit would be crazy. Yeah.
Just someone get crushed. Imagine it's the camera on the chest of the player getting hit.
Yeah.
The camera explodes.
Oh
no, he's gone.
That's right. He'll get back.
Yeah, I'm sure he'll get back. Well, the cameras are a bit wonky right now. We'll work with it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say that let's take a quick break.
Leading events of turf, diamond, and gridiron for your entertainment.
Watch this. So we are back after a little bump, a little internet issue, but we are back.
Oopsie.
And it is fine. It's all good. We were talking about jersey
It's all
cams
good.
as a great invention for the NBA experience.
And I believe we ended off right when we were talking about how cool it would be to see like if the cam was on someone's chest, Tyrell, playing hockey, and then they got hit like shoulder to chest.
That'd be wild.
At high speed. So there you go. Open ice hit, smash.
Break the camera.
Break the camera.
I think it'd be interesting for every sport, like football, hockey, basketball.
Ooh, football would be sick too, eh?
Mm.
Football would be crazy if you get lost in a scrum and you're just like, where
Yeah.
are you? And
Yeah.
think about all of the cameras you would have to get repaired and throw out. Yeah.
I did mention, or was thinking about, I think hockey would be, it would make you like not as nauseous as the other ones, because if you slapped it on a cam and your guy's skating, I feel like that's much less prone to like bouncing the camera up and down. So
There's a smoothness to it.
obviously
yeah.
still there'd be
absolutely.
like, you know,
Yeah.
going back and forth, but I think it'd be better than I want to see the NBA dunk one, regardless of what it looks like of them on the floor, though. I want to see, like Tyrell said, Zion do a dunk. The camera, there's two things. The camera is looking down at whoever's on the floor. That'd be great. And
Yeah, it'd be cool.
the guy who just got murdered on the floor looking up to see whoever's hanging on the rim.
Yeah. And he just sees the other player step over him.
You get so many good little tidbits for that. Making
How
a
great-
real out of it.
How great would it be for baseball? It's just Buddy standing in the outfield, waving to the people in the crowd. Right? He's like, "Hey kid, how's it going?
All you see is like hand in front of him.
Hey,
Hand
want me to sign your ball? Okay."
Hey kid, I can sign your ball.
But you know what? If it was one of those ones where it's just about to go over and you're about to go jumping for it, would be pretty sick.
One of those classic Kevin Pillar moments.
Or at bat.
Just put it on Pilar the whole season. It'd be fantastic.
Or at bat. Like
Yeah.
you're at bat and you can see the pitcher throwing at you.
Hey, here's some
Pretty
smoke.
cool, man.
Talk about technological advancements. Get rid of umpires.
Oh, that's true.
Who
Just
needs
make
umpires?
computerized, for God's sakes?
Who needs
You
umpires?
already have the strike zone. Like
What?
this drives me crazy. Like you have it set that you could just eliminate umpires completely. And I'm sorry to any umpires out there that are like, "This is my job." Like I don't like it's like honestly like there's so many like frustrations that come from bad calls in baseball from the umpire. Like you have a strike zone. Like it could be like consistent every time.
It's
Mm-hmm.
truly
There's no human
ridiculous.
error.
Some of the calls that you get, or for like something that's obviously a ball, they call it a strike, and the exact opposite, something that's obviously a strike, they call it a ball. Like
And
it's
then
almost
the umpire
every
gets
single
pissy
game
because everyone's arguing with him. He's like,
Yeah.
"You're out of here, and you're out of here."
Yes, and then you get like guys that are mad at specific players and do it on purpose out of a grudge. Like you don't need anything. The tech's there.
Yeah.
It's being used on the broadcast. Like it's there, and it would 100% make the game better if you're not looking at it from a sentimental.
That's what it is.
Perspective.
But I think baseball is so built around that sentimentality. It's like the beautiful game.
Mm.
Like you can't touch it, you can't change anything. You're not allowed.
Yeah.
It's got to be like old school.
And it's funny that you said this, Alex, because no joke, today on the radio, they were having the same conversation.
Mm.
And their whole idea is that there is a league in the States that they already have a like an AI version of this already, and they don't need the ump, and it's like 100% accurate.
Right.
So maybe umps will become obsolete someday.
And perhaps, I guess, if you want to look at it from another angle, maybe that frustration builds some drama as well. But like just saying that you get drama from mistakes, I don't know how I feel about that. So I'm all for taking umpires out.
Did this is a segue a little bit, but did anyone hear about like that new football league that is like fan controlled?
Yep.
They're coming out with?
I don't know anything about it. I just know the name, and
Me neither.
that's about it.
I know very little. All I know is that who's it that's playing in it? What's his name? The quarterback that like he was drafted like first overall or something, and
Johnny
then he just
Football?
fell out of the league. Johnny Football. Johnny
Manziel.
Menzel is playing in it, and Gordon is playing in it. But it's gonna be like all crowd. Like there's no coach control apparently. It's all like the like everyone votes on the play.
Right.
So like
Oh my god!
Yeah.
This is like a Schwarzenegger movie.
yeah, it's like the Running Man.
It's like the Running Man. It's the same thing.
It's exactly like the Running Man. Yeah.
Yeah.
Sub-Zero now, Plane Zero.
I'm just wondering, like, are there going to be teams for fans? Like, does this team have fans that collectively decide on a play, or is it just everyone? And it's
I
like
want to know.
Twitch
like,
plays.
Twitch play, yeah, exactly. And for those who don't know, Twitch plays is essentially, for example, what they did was they had Pokemon set up, and using commands in the chat would press a button on your so-called Game Boy to defeat Pokemon. It was an absolute mess. So you'd have him going in circles for days. They actually finished it, which is just absurd. But yeah, chaos. I'm all for a bit more chaos in the NFL or in my football, including XFL, which is coming back.
Yeah. XFL's coming back too. Oh my god.
So speaking of, like, what's The Rock going to be changing with the XFL? Like, what's his main goal? Like, I really have no idea.
I think he just took over ownership because it was in the hellhole and it was sinking.
Right.
And he knew Vince McMahon, who owned it. So I think he probably got a bit of, I wouldn't say a bargain, but like the buyout was easier for him. It made more sense. He's stinking rich, and XFL has like wrestling theatrical qualities. I think he has a good mind for it. So I'm not sure if he's gonna change anything.
Ideas then.
Like, I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I am pumped for an XFL run by The Rock. Like, I think that's gonna be really fun.
Yeah.
Because the guy knows entertainment. Like, you can love or hate his movies. Like everything is always entertaining.
Yeah.
So
and now entering Ric Flair, and you're like, what?
What? Ric Flair? Yeah. Randy Orton out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Yes.
RKO out of nowhere.
That'd be amazing.
Oh
Randy Orton wins the game.
Yeah. Randy Orton is
RKO steals the football on his shoulder and RKO's it into the end.
I could
Yes.
see the quarterback making the play, making the throw. It's a Hail Mary pass, and then the receiver's at the end zone, and then RKO out of nowhere.
I don't know if it has any plans of a date or anything like that, but just before we move on to one more segment, I want to mention my stupid invention. And it's funny because, like I said, this actually came to me during the game. I was like, this sounds so stupid, but it makes sense. All right. The very first part of a basketball game. What is done? A tip-off. What do you do in a tip-off?
All tip-off.
The ref has the ball, chucks it up in the air, and two centers try to tip it to their team.
Yeah.
Hey, humans aren't perfect, and sometimes the ball tilts one way or the other way.
Yeah.
Put a device right in center court.
Ref runs off with the device after he does it.
No. or yeah, you can have a device where you can,
or it shoots out from underneath.
That's what that was what I was thinking. Have a submerged device.
Yes, I love it.
And yeah, exactly, Josh. So the floor remains shut, but it's like, welcome to tip off. Out comes the basketball.
They can release like some smoke and stuff first. Like just release some like
yes. Just to create that ominous energy.
Yeah.
There's so many.
I like it, Alex. I like it.
There's so much potential to it. And hey, that's not taking anyone's job. Refs are still gonna be on the floor.
No. Yeah,
it's just not gonna be doing the tip off anymore.
They just get a better break, you know?
And no one's gonna get mad at you for botching a tip off. Now there could be something that I'm missing, but I don't think so. Sometimes tip offs get
that's a great one.
Get botched. I'm all for this. We gotta come up with a name for whatever device this is. Yeah. It could be like you said, Josh, bringing it on, or or the inserted underground.
Yeah, like I personally enjoy like the ref like wheeling it out. He's shooting up. He just gotta rush it off.
He like trips up and it's so great. Oh god! Ref is now injured. He tripped up in the tipping device.
Yeah, oh no!
Oh, that was fun.
But yeah,
I like it, Alex. That's good. I think they should do something like that for sure. At least try it out. You know,
I gotta come up with a name
games
for it. I gotta come up with put it in the G League or something like that.
Yeah.
They'll have to get the velocity right. Because...
Yes, that's true too. They got a lot of testing.
Wait, now, any of us physicists? None of us, eh? Shit. All right.
I was almost one.
You're almost one.
Yeah.
We got a couple of basic physics courses between us, so we'll figure it out.
I'll do the electronics for sure. I can figure that part out.
There you go.
Hey,
Just the mechanical. I don't know.
I understand projectiles.
we're coming for
I'll
that,
help
Pat.
anyone who gets injured during shit test.
We're set up, and I'll market it. We're all good.
There we go.
We just need a name for it. Just need a name. But that's the thing. I kind of want to do the stupid wheelbarrow one. And then later on in life, we'll license the idea to do the underground one.
Build it right into the floor.
The wheelbarrow one will cause many, many more hilarious moments on TV, but probably,
of course.
I don't know, probably some injuries as well.
They got it on a rope.
Well, what shouldn't they just do?
yank the rope. Get it off the floor.
And yeah, like cutting to guys like just getting really frustrated trying to get it back in after the tip off. Oh,
Yeah, jumping over it and shit. Like, it'd be great. We're on to
Well,
something.
couldn't you just instead of like say the tip off, like shooting the ball up, same thing for like say hockey? Can you just like drop a puck from the ceiling every time?
yeah.
It's like this, like you don't have to wait on the ref at all. You just like wait to see where the puck is gonna drop.
We're single-handedly fixing face-offs and tip-offs.
Yeah, it makes it the extra like aura of random. That's all.
Or you see, just for the NHL, just have something as simple as like just a claw that comes down all dramatically.
It's like just goes,
but it holds the puck like this.
And puts it very,
Yes.
very delicately.
Yeah,
Very
it's holding it like this.
delicately.
It comes down and it's like
But then you would need an arm on every fucking face-off circle.
at every dot.
God, you would. It's like, sorry, we ran out of pucks.
Yeah.
Up in
That's where
the,
that's where they should use that travel money.
Arizona would be
Yeah.
like, we can't do it. We can't
We
afford it.
ran out of pucks.
We
have no
can't do
money.
anything.
Yeah, we can't afford it. We're not spending that money.
Yeah, like
Ah.
the more ridiculous it looks, the better. So even if it descends from the top rafter, it's like the microphones that descend in the wrestling ring. It's just this giant claw.
Yeah.
Oh, man.
The microphone
comes the
only
claw.
comes down. They're like, yes.
So
And you could be clever with it, right? Like for like Philadelphia could use like the gritty hand. To be just
Yeah.
Gritty's,
Yeah,
like,
yeah. You
hand.
could dress up
And
your
the
little
Coyotes have like a werewolf hand.
Yeah.
Or something,
Everyone
you
dresses
know
up
what I
their
mean?
little claw, like however.
And their
Like
little
Toronto's
claw.
is just like a little like maple leaf that's like picked off of a maple tree.
No, that'd be funny. They could do it by seasons. Like they could
Yeah.
have like in the
it's a
fall,
little
it'd be
like,
a
in the
red
winter. It's like a little
one.
branch. It's like a dead branch.
It's like a dead branch.
Yeah.
They're in last place. It's like a
It's zombie
twig
heart.
falling apart.
Oh god, so decrepit. Just
Oh,
a decrepit
God.
branch.
and you have like close-up camera angles of it each time it just descends. It's like, what the hell is it this week?
Yeah.
A branch?
A branch. What the hell?
Oh, we went really crazy just then.
I think
I
that's something
I
that we'll
enjoy-
definitely have to revisit.
really enjoyed where that went.
We need a name for it, and we need to start tweeting it in when it's to the certain
So-
games whenever it's necessary.
Alex, I really enjoyed that segment. I'm going to be thinking of the most ridiculous thing I can for the next segment.
Nice. Again, like who knows if we bring it back, but I'll always love to hear this stuff. I think it would. I mean, we talked about that one for a good bit. It's gonna make for some funny moments. We just need a name. The name is the main thing. So this week, or within the past week, all of the All-Stars have been announced for the NBA All-Star Game on March 4th. You know what? As bad as it is, I'm looking forward to it. It's gonna be a big day, filled with activities, because they're keeping all of it. It's on March 4th. I'm looking forward to it. But what we're going to do this week on the Jersey Talk is we're going to do a draft. So
Yeah.
first we were thinking, hey, let's do Team LeBron, Team Durant, and draft as two people on each team and draft that way. But no, we're going to do 4 mini teams. More innovation for these leagues to witness here now. And first, let's go with,
Ooh.
you know what? We'll just do it arbitrarily. Fred, you will have the first pick.
So does Fred have a captain already, or like how does this work?
We won't have a captain. What we'll do
Just
is
pick
we'll just
anyone.
include the captains. And I should have mentioned this too. Anthony Davis, we won't include him. We'll include Devin Booker for Anthony Davis. But
Right.
we're going to keep Durant in. big shout out to Sabonis, incredible player who is currently his injury substitution. But we're gonna keep Durant in.
Intriguing.
For no particular reason.
So this is excluding the LeBron and Durant, right?
No, it includes both.
Includes both.
So if
okay,
you're
so we're
going
picking
first,
four
yeah.
essentially, eh?
Yes.
Yes.
We'll see how it
Five.
works out.
I think
Yeah,
we
we'll
can
see
go.
how it goes. Anyways, we'll have fun with it. If I'm gonna grab someone right off the bat,
Fred has the first pick
first
of the Jersey Tuck draft. All-Star draft.
I think, man, I'm just gonna go with Luka. Like,
There you go.
yeah, man. I don't know. Like, I just love that guy's charisma. I love that guy and the point. Like, everything about him is just great to start off with. I think that's who I'm going with.
So leading Team Fred will be
Yeah.
Luka Doncic
Wow.
of the Dallas Mavericks.
I know it's a little out
Wow.
there.
No, I love that. I love that as a first pick.
Nice.
I gotta say, I'm gonna go last. Who's gonna go second?
Do you want me to go second?
Let's do it.
I know exactly who I'm going to take right off the bat.
All right.
I'm literally taking the best player in the last 20 years.
Looks like we're
LeBron
going
James.
with LeBron
That's
James.
fair. That's fair.
No,
Like I gotta go team LeBron, man. Like as much as you want to rag on him, because I know he's always going to be compared to like Jordan and the greats.
Yep.
That only makes him more worthy of being selected right now because he's in that echelon of player. You know what I mean? Like,
Yep.
he's up there. Like he's going to be one of the greatest of all time, if not already there. So I'm
not
taking.
clutch. Not clutch enough for me.
Oh, he's good enough.
He's good.
LeBron James.
He's
He's
good
good enough.
He's good enough. I got LeBron.
Tyrell, who are you going with? Who's gonna
All
be
right.
your man?
I got a strategy in my head that is unbeatable.
All right.
Ooh,
The
that's
the centerpiece to my strategy is going to be my boy Stephen Curry.
There you
Okay,
go.
fair enough. Fair
Yeah.
enough.
All right. And you know what? Just for the sake of this silly little game that we're playing, these guys are going to play against each other, and whoever wins wins the Jersey Tuck. Or no, wins that particular host $1 million. That's how it's going to
Oh wow.
Ooh, wow. I didn't know this.
I got it in the bag.
I would have changed my
I
pick.
got it.
be.
I would have changed my pick.
All right. Let's see. And you got to consider there's players that play above their potential on All-Star. There's some who kind of level out.
Mm-hmm.
You could make your case either way for a lot of different things. For me, I think I'm going to go with Joel Embiid.
Okay.
Wow.
And I'm going to pick him two reasons. He is one of the most charismatic players in the league by far. Great follow on Twitter, even though sometimes he doesn't make sense with what he's getting on with. But
I'm
great
genuinely
follow.
surprised that was your pick.
And he's a front runner for MVP right now, so gotta go with Embiid. He's having a killer, fantastic year. Love that guy. Love me a big center with some post moves and can stretch the floor. We are back to Fred.
Excellent. Well, I was thinking about it. Now I got my like shooter, right? So now I'm gonna need somebody who really, I don't know, can really fit that power forward up front kind of thing here. So let's see. I think I'm just gonna
Don't
go
you
with
do it.
Giannis. No, I'm just gonna
Gonna
go
go
with
Giannis?
Giannis.
Okay.
It's
that's okay.
safe. Giannis. Yeah, that's who I'm going with.
All right, Luka and Giannis.
Big Greek
Nice.
freak.
You got some two international players there. Very nice.
So
Next up,
that's perfect because that leaves me exactly who I wanted.
you fell into my trap.
You fell into my trap. And I wanted this player all along because it was the player that LeBron really wanted to join the Lakers. I'm taking Kawhi Leonard. I want that defense.
Good pick. Good pick.
I want that defense, and I want him playing with LeBron James.
Good pick. Good pick. You know, I think they play well. Like they play similar positions, but LeBron could play with anyone on the floor.
Exactly.
I would like to see
Moves
that.
around.
I would very much like to see that. Next up we got Tyrell.
All right, I'm gonna go with Ben Simmons,
Ben Simmons.
and the reason why you'll find out at the end. But
All
we'll
right,
see.
that's an interesting
Ooh.
pick.
Ooh.
Wow.
Ben Simmons,
The confidence.
and he's putting up some nice subtle little numbers. He's what you'd call a Swiss Army knife. he's putting up some nice numbers in various categories for the position that he plays. He gets some rebounds. He gets some assists. He scores a decent amount. I think he had a 50-point game this year, or 40.
I think he did, yeah.
Yeah,
You're sad that we didn't get him for James Harden?
Yeah.
Oh.
See, I reevaluate that trade so many times in my head because I've been thinking about, like, oh, Jarrett Allen was part of that and he's gone now. But we have Christian Wood. Anyways, yeah, I'd like to see Ben Simmons on the team at this point for sure. I'd like to see anyone on the team. Let's see. So we got Ben Simmons on Tyrell with Stephen Curry. And my next pick. I got a big man. I need someone to carry the ball up the floor for me and do a great job doing it. You know what?
Yeah.
Can't go wrong. James Harden.
No.
I knew it was coming. I knew it was coming.
I'm surprised.
This one came from the heart.
Yeah, it did. It did. A broken part of my heart.
Well, he's gonna put up a few points for you for sure.
He is, absolutely. See, that's the thing about James Harden this year. He's like more tame on the scoring, but still doing a crazy amount of everything else. Like he's killing it on the Nets right now. He's just being a distributor. He's a fantastic player. I will say with this team right now, personality-wise, you got this and you got this. So Joel Embiid, James Harden. We'll see how that works out when they get dressed in the locker room together. I'll let you guys know as soon as it happens. We are back to Fred.
And I gotta go with Bradley Beal.
Bradley Beal.
He's taking Bradley Beal.
Yeah, man. Going for that shooting. He's been a monster all year anyway, so solid.
He's been crazy. At least everyone knows at this point that he could score the ball very well.
Yeah, man.
Oh yeah.
If anything, that's a nice little team you got there. I gotta say,
I know.
I like that Bradley Beal pick.
Yeah, I'm going all. I feel like speed for the most part here.
If I'm
who's gonna get it to the net? Get it to the net.
If I'm not wrong, I think Bradley Beal is still leading in scoring. Could be wrong, but I think so.
Yeah, I think
he was when
like,
I last checked.
Yeah, still up there, like the 30+ range.
And big shout out to the Wizards. Wizards on like a 5-6 game win streak.
Yeah, good on them.
Last time we talked about them, they were shit, absolute garbage.
John Wall's punching air right now.
And this time, I think, as last week, because last week it was the start of it, but the Rockets are on. Is it 12? 12 game losing streak, boys.
Let's let it come, man. We need that top 5.
There you go. You wanted that big pick.
It's at that point because you're looking at the standings, and as a Rockets fan, that's just like.
There's only 73 games,
sad.
too.
It doesn't click in. It doesn't register in my brain. Anyways.
What was it? They lost by 52, was it?
Oh,
59,
that's another thing.
59.
Oh,
I'm so
Memphis.
sorry.
I think it was 49. I could be wrong, but
It was 130 to like 88 or something.
No, I think it was
is it
59.
59?
I think it was 59.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry. Like that's. Oh my god.
To Memphis out of all teams.
Oh my god.
Ouch.
It will be a playoff team next year. It's fine.
Yeah, it'll be fine. It'll be fun.
That's one of those games that really makes you think about what's going on. Like, you don't lose by that many points.
I've never
Something's
seen a
wrong.
blowout like that ever. I've never 59.
Something is very wrong.
High
So,
school, I've seen it. High school ball, I've seen that.
we're comparing the Rockets to high school teams. Oh no, this is the point we're at. It's true. That's exactly what they are at this point. That's the amount of defense they're putting up.
No.
I'm embracing.
no.
I'm embracing it. It's fine. Next pick goes to Josh.
It's me. Yeah, and you know what? Like I'm gonna go there because I think there's always point guards. There's always guards left over. I'm gonna take my center. And I'm actually really torn. And I think this more so comes down to the fact that I haven't followed basketball as recently as I should have.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna go with, the all-star lineup. I'm gonna take Jokic.
Okay.
That's an incredible. Incredible.
He's
pick.
been playing
There you
really
go.
well.
So I got my forwards and I got Jokic.
And for anyone who hasn't followed it as closely, the Nuggets are one of those teams like the Jazz. Jazz are on a whole other level right now, but Nuggets are one of those teams who often get overlooked. But Nikola Jokic is like let alone one of the best passing centers in the league. He's one of the best passers in the league. Period. He's incredible, and all the offense runs through him as a center. It's nuts, and nickname that he's been called over the past 2 years, Big Honey.
Big Honey.
Yeah.
I love it.
Big Honey.
Big Honey. Well, obviously it's the Joker, but Big Honey is there.
Joker.
And some people were trying to get rid of it, but no, you gotta embrace the Big
No,
Honey.
it's gotta stay.
Big Honey is so much better.
So
Tyrell, you're up.
ridiculous.
All right. Part 3 of my master plan is gonna be my big man Rudy Gobert.
Ooh, that defense.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. Got one more piece of the puzzle. I hope no one drafts him.
Is it
I
working
already
out?
know-
Is your master plan
Yeah.
working out right now?
Oh, it's come together.
Nice.
I don't know, man. My next pick is
I'm really curious
Oh,
on
man.
what 2 picks happen before my next one because I haven't picked already.
Fred took Giannis on me, but that's okay. We can
yeah.
live with that.
You got all the plan. You got plan B's, plan C's, got everything. Next up for me, let's see. I got a scorer / point guard, kind of a flex role. I have a
I know. I think I know
center,
who you're picking.
but
Ooh.
I need some surefire defense. Let's take a look at who's on the board here now.
Oh no.
If we take a look at what's left on the board, are any starters left? I don't think so. Oh wow!
There
There's
is,
one
yeah.
glaringly obvious one there. I just
Yeah,
realized.
there's a very
Yeah.
obvious one, and it was the one
Yeah.
that I thought that didn't deserve to be there last week. Just saying. I'm just gonna throw that out there, guys. After we've done this draft, and we've picked a lot of other players that aren't starters.
Huh? Who do I want? I'm gonna go with Jason Tatum. I need someone to fill out that
Okay.
mid spot.
Ooh.
And the Celtics are not doing good right now, but I am positive of that man's potential. He's a great ball player. And
Not Jaylen Brown?
they're both fantastic. I like Tatum a little bit more, but they're kind of on the same level. I don't know. Brown started off the year on fire. Like he was doing really good at the beginning of the season. I'm gonna go with Tatum.
Yeah,
Solid pick.
Thank you.
But I think you really missed out on a solid player,
Oh, I'm really worried that
which
you
is
took
going to
mine.
be my player.
I
So
think I
worried that you
know.
took
I
mine,
think I
Fred.
know what's going.
I'm really worried that you took mine.
I have Giannis, right? So I had that big man, right? And then I got my shooter with Doncic. I got who are my other boys? Who am I missing here?
You
there
have
he is. There it is.
Bradley Beal.
Yes, Bradley Beal. But now I'm going for the big power forward, just a big boy who's gonna drive.
Oh,
He's
no,
gonna hit a
don't do
three every
it.
now and then.
Don't you do it.
I'm gonna go with Anthony Davis.
Oh wait, Fred, we did take Anthony Davis out for Devin Booker, but you know what? We'll put him back in.
Oh,
We're
that's
gonna change
right,
the
that's
rules.
right.
We're changing the
That's
rules.
All right. Well, I'm
Anthony
still
Davis
going
is
with
back.
him. I must have missed it.
It's all good, man. It's all good. And
But still, that would be the dream team.
I don't
right
think
there.
Devin Booker was way up on, unless that was the last piece of Tyrell's plan. I don't.
No,
Yeah,
no,
okay.
we're good. We're
That
good.
gives me my guard,
Oh,
I've
you
been-
want?
which I've been waiting for because I've got my forwards. I think I've got my front court. So
Tell us.
my guard, and you're going to put some respect on his name because he never gets that starting team all-star respect. I'm going Damian Lillard.
That's solid. That's
Yeah,
fantastic.
that's fair.
There
I
we
like
go.
All right, you guys did it now. It's over. I'm gonna go. The final piece of the puzzle is gonna be Zion Williamson,
Oh,
Ooh, nice.
and I guess I'll save it for the end what my strategy would be. But yeah, that would be the final piece.
I like it.
So let's see. How many players we draft in total?
we had
Four.
four each.
4.
Four each.
We do a fifth. We do a starting rotation here.
Do we have enough for a fifth?
I think so.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, definitely.
And
Yeah.
yeah, okay. Go.
Yeah, there's enough for a fifth.
All right. Am I up? I think I'm up.
Yep.
I have a guard, a small forward, a center. Could do with another guard. Could do with another forward. What else do we have right now on the board? You know what? This is going to be very Homer of me. Chris Paul is reuniting with James Harden.
Oh God.
You're gonna have a lot of personalities that just aren't going to mesh. Well.
Then my team is gonna tank.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I actually
way
wanted to
too-
take Chris Paul. I wanted to take him too.
Yeah.
No one took Kyrie either, eh?
Hey.
Kyrie, he's like,
Oh yeah, poor old Kyrie. Guys,
Poor old
there's
It's
Kyrie.
not
still,
done. It's not done yet.
there's still one glaring player that hasn't moved off the board yet. We'll see where he goes, but Fred, you are up.
He's gonna take him.
no, I don't know who I want yet.
Let's examine your team, Fred. You got Luka.
Yeah, it's pretty solid.
Luka, what, plays small forward to shooting guard?
Yeah, say.
Bradley Beal plays guard. AD
Yep.
plays power forward to small ball center.
And then
You can.
Giannis. Oh, options.
You got some options.
I got options. Let's see here. Who am I gonna go with here? And who were the extra players we added?
So we're keeping
Booker and
Anthony
who?
Davis. We're keeping
Oh,
Anthony
okay.
Davis, and we're keeping Kevin Durant.
Did anyone draft Kevin Durant yet?
Well, I guess it only makes sense that I should take Durant.
Just take Kevin Durant.
That
I'm
was
gonna
the one
take Kevin
example.
Durant.
I didn't even think of it.
I was like, yeah, right. Fuck.
That's too funny. You got Kevin Durant?
Man, my team is stacked.
Yeah.
Who's gonna stop that team?
Yeah, that's a nice team. That's a nice team. All right, you are up, Josh. Ooh, we got a visitor. We got a visitor on the video pod. Josh has
We're
Broccoli, the
we are going
dog.
to take, with our 77th pick, we are going to take Donovan Mitchell.
Ooh, nice.
Nice.
Very nice.
Solid.
We're gonna take.
It's my shooting guard. There you go. I got my shooting guard.
Got Donovan Mitchell. You get some nice flashy dunks in the game, and hey, he's the leader of the top team in the NBA right now. So there you go.
There you go, buddy.
Next up, Tyrell. Complete that
All right.
master plan.
My last pick is honestly I created a pretty solid team unexpectedly with Curry, Simmons in the backcourt, Zion power forward, Gobert center.
Yeah, it's pretty
Small-
solid.
Yeah, but small forward. I'm gonna take. It's gonna be part of the plan, but he's gonna fit in the small forward category. I'm gonna pick Julius Randle.
Very nice.
Mm.
Very nice. Julius Randle's having himself a year in New York. He's bringing faith to Knicks fans.
They're in fourth. That's crazy.
Really? Fourth?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure.
The Knicks finally have something to cheer about.
They do, man. And their rookie, Emmanuel Quickly, he's doing really good. Nice looking player. Got a nice floater. All right, I need a forward. So we look at the board, and is there forwards left? Yeah, there is.
You
Ah,
should just take
Yeah.
Kyrie.
Yeah.
Paul George and Jaylen Brown.
yeah. See, it's very easy to hate on Paul George, but he's a great player.
He is.
Oh man, the Paul George hate's so unjustified. Man,
I think
I
it's
mean,
mostly because of stuff he says to the media. I don't
Yeah,
it's nothing to
yeah.
do with his play. Well, everyone thinks it is, but yeah, he gets a lot of unnecessary hate. I agree.
maybe I got bias from when his days in Indiana, but he was
Yeah, that
straight
team
up
was so cool.
cold on that team.
That team was very cool. Just surprise. Everyone's like, I'm going with Nikola Vucevic. No.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with Paul George is coming aboard. Come
Why not?
on
All right,
board,
solid.
Polly.
Why not?
So let me get this straight, Alex.
Yeah.
You got James Harden,
Yes.
Paul George,
Yeah.
Chris Paul.
Yes.
This just sounds like the team that you really wish the Rockets ended up being.
Hey.
It's true. They were
So
close.
true.
They were so close.
And they were so close.
Yeah, and like Tyrell said, I don't know about those personalities, but listen, the Nets,
They're making it work.
They're
Yeah.
making it work. You're right. They're totally making
the
it
one
work.
thing I'm concerned about is the reuniting of CP3 and James Harden. We'll see, but who can manage that relationship there? Jason Tatum's too young to manage it. Embiid is too much of a goofball to really put any leadership on anything.
Yeah.
I am my team is one of those things that it's like they can explode on a given night and go on huge win streaks, but they're up in the air. They're no one's surefire contender for a championship or anything like that. But they have potential. I have faith
you only
in that
need one
$1
really
million.
hot player that night. Yeah.
Yeah. I have faith in my $1 million. What are you thinking right now, Tyrell? Is it did your master plan work out? Are you you got some nice stuff going on there. You got distributor.
I'm feeling
You
pretty
got good
good.
pieces. You got
Yeah.
pieces. You got
I'm
pieces.
feeling pretty good.
You got Curry that runs off ball, creates plays for himself off ball, and Ben
So-
Simmons definitely works with that.
Absolutely. My master plan is I was trying to draft the tallest, lankiest players. And on defense, you're not scoring on us. But on offense,
Right?
we're just giving the ball to Steph Curry and we're forming a human circle, locking arms around. There's no rules. There's no rules that say you can't do this.
Hey, that's true.
We're putting Zion, the strongest, facing whoever, and we're gonna.
Fox and
He's
one.
gonna.
Fox and won everybody.
Everyone's
This is
gonna
my
interlock arms and protect.
He's going to be
Steph Curry.
exhausted by the end of the All-Star
And
game.
we're gonna protect Steph, and he's just gonna jack threes inside this circle the
That's
whole
incredible.
game. And
That's
then we're gonna have Zion facing you guys with his muscles, and you're not gonna get through.
I love your strategy.
That is a master plan. Not
That's
one I
it.
That's
expected
pretty good.
whatsoever. See, I thought you were gonna come out with like this, like we got you know what we got someone that works the pick and roll well together. Got some nice shooters, a defender. No,
That's
you have the
innovation.
master of master plans.
That's innovation right there.
You have the ring
That's
of fire.
That's coach of the year innovation.
I love it.
I'd love to see it, honestly.
And hey, it's an all-star game. You try everything. That's how these things work. It's all for the
I
fun.
like
It's all for the kids.
How about this? How about this too? How about we all grab one player that is not going to make the All-Star team? Like just someone who's been snubbed. We should grab one. What do you think?
Who hasn't been drafted? Like who isn't on that
yeah.
list?
or not even on this list. just
Not
in
even on the.
league.
So
Not
you're-
even on it.
You're
Anyone
kind of
in the
shout
league.
out. So not necessarily someone who
Like a
deserved to
shout
be
out
in.
player. Your 6-man shout out.
So
Yeah.
so someone that could be there for entertainment purposes or because they deserve to be there. Just anyone.
Whoever.
I like
Whoever
that.
would make your
Yeah,
team
nice
better.
6-man.
Yeah.
I like that.
So I'm mine. I already got one. I
Don't
would
say
take.
it.
I want Van Fleet. Fuck you. There's
That's
something
who I was
about him,
gonna
man.
say. That's who I was
He's
gonna
such
say.
a. He's so like I think he's getting better every year. Like every
He's
year
so
he's
good.
progressively getting better for an undrafted player, right?
But
he was
as
undrafted,
like
correct?
also as like your like a point guard off the bench.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
Yeah, that's a good pick for a 6-man on an all-star team too. Like it makes sense in
Yeah.
terms of your game. Also good at if you're a Canadian guy, you want to have that.
And he has something to prove too. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
playing
what's
with all
his
those
saying?
big boys. I think in my All-Star game, I think he would like. I'm gonna give it.
Yeah,
That's what I'm going for.
yeah.
and
Oh,
he
yeah.
went for 54 this year. So you got Bradley Beal, who has scored 50, I think, multiple times this year. You also have Fred VanVleet, who has scored 54. Yeah, you got some offensive power there for sure. And
I'm
you got
going for
Luka,
it.
who can hit game winners. Yeah, that team's looking nice too.
And
Oh man.
I'm gonna be
So-
pulling down boards.
so-
Oh man, I'm gonna be tough, boys. I'm telling you.
I'm gonna make
be
my
tough.
pick and I'm gonna just steal both of your hearts right now.
All right.
I'm taking Christian Wood.
Oh.
I respect it so much. So, Steven Silas was, I think someone questioned him on the MVP race, and then he was talking to Christian Wood about it, and something came up regarding MVP, and he's like, "Well, we haven't won a game since you've been injured," and I was like
Yeah.
9 games into it, so I mean,
yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
Man.
go. Off my
Yeah,
bench, Christian
and
Wood.
exactly
Let's go.
like you said. Like, talk about players who one player means so much to that team. Like, I mean, it's right there in your face, statistics. That's a solid pick, especially because he was voted in as fan vote for their first 2 counts until he got injured. So that makes sense on a lot of different levels, actually. Good pick. Solid pick. All right, Tyrell, who you picking for your 6th man?
I am in way too deep on this Steph Curry circle ring of fire.
Another lanky
strat.
guy.
So
He's
I
taking
gotta
the
go
lankiest.
with the one, the only Taco Fall. So he can just wrap his arms around him and let him shoot threes.
Oh my
You were
god!
literally one step from saying it's like a lanky skeleton. Like,
Yeah. If there was a 7th pick, it'd be Bol Bol.
I got a long list, honestly.
I like it.
Oh man.
And Taco brings the fans in too, so that's also good.
Yeah, that's true.
Absolutely.
He's a pretty funny guy.
My pick, he's going to be there for one, because he's on the best team in the NBA right now. 2, soft spot for him. And 3, it'd be good for the fans of my squad. And he's good. He's still a fantastic player. He'd help me win that $1 million. My 6th man is Mike Conley.
ooh,
He has never
shit.
made an All-Star game.
Really, man?
deserves it.
I know, not once.
That's a shame, really.
He has never made one. He's always been the player that's just right there, and he's been in conferences that were just stacked with guards. So he's never got the cut, and he's getting the cut for my team.
There it is.
Solid.
I think
There it is. What a
think-
team.
I think we all have
It is.
some nice looking teams right now. We'll get to wrapping this up, but I will say we gotta run the stinger for our new for garbage time. I think was it garbage time? No, it's pick and roll.
Pick and roll.
Pick and roll. Pick and roll with it. So essentially, if you listened last week, what it is, it's all the topics that we haven't covered. And if you want to talk about something in specific, you pick it. If you don't, you roll away from it. Here comes the stinger.
Ready.
Hey, bro! Hey!
I like the pick and roll. I like the give and go.
Answer the question. Freak out, yo!
All right. Welcome to the pick and roll. And what do we have on the list that we haven't talked about this week, boys? We have
We got some things.
Jordan Bennington's hissy fit. We got James Harden's jersey.
There's so many good things.
James Harden's jersey to be retired. We got the Rockets stink. We got Josh is headed away from
He's
the camera.
excited. He's just
coming
got
back
really
with
excited
something.
for some reason.
He's throwing a hissy fit of his own. We're narrating what's happening here. He's coming.
I don't know. He's
What's it gonna
coming.
be?
We don't know what he's Beetlejuice now. What?
Beetlejuice? Oh, look at that! What the hell?
I just noticed. And
His
he's
name
still
on
around.
Zoom has changed to Beetlejuice. Did he do that? Did one of you guys do that?
Is he
There he
coming?
is.
Oh,
Yo, back.
Yo, back, bro.
Were you
That was
getting
amazing.
something?
Guys,
Quick.
I was really enjoying everything that was going on. That I really need another beer.
Oh.
There you go.
Well, fair enough.
I thought
This
you were
has
gonna be
been-
like, look at this Bennington jersey.
No,
Me too.
no.
I did too.
Never,
And I thought you were
never.
come out with like a St. Louis Blues with a clown outfit. It's screaming balls.
I
That
will
was
say,
so fucking bad.
I will say with that Nets Rockets game, I'm less looking forward to it because it'd be nice to see it with fans. I'm really curious to see if they'd boo him or not. I would hope not, because there's kind of like been a bit of time to move beyond his tantrum or whatever you'd call it, his lackadaisical nature of the first couple weeks. But yeah, the Nets are meeting the Rockets and they're retiring his number 13.
Oh yeah,
And-
the Harden jersey.
So big respectful move. I don't think it really comes as a surprise to anyone. I like it.
I think
like
it's
it.
deserved, man. I think it's deserved. Like as much as you always wish that like that championship was brought to Houston, it doesn't really matter. At the end of the day, like James Harden, and I think no one will argue like his best years were in Houston.
Yeah.
I can't foresee him having better, like, you know what I mean? Like years where he carried the team. Like if anything, if he wins a championship, it's going to be with a team with like Durant and Kyrie Irving. You know what I mean? Like it's not going to be the same thing. Like he had these years where he literally just like, it was the James Harden show in Houston.
Yeah.
That's all.
People forget the turmoil Houston was in 2010, 2011 before Harden came in. We were bad. Like I know we had we had a young Kyle Lowry, and we had Kevin Martin, and we had Luis Scola.
Jeremy Lin.
No, they brought in Jeremy Lin the year Harden came in. We didn't have any of those guys. We had a completely new roster, and we were bad. It was a bad sign. Yao Ming. We were trying to like prop Yao Ming up on like puppeteering. I'm trying to get him to play
put him on stilts.
It's like, keep playing just for one more year, please.
Yeah, there's like 2 years of him playing like 5 games, and and Harden came in and immediately changed the culture. I know, like, you can debate whether it's for the worse or better, but you know that's the whole.
It was
podcast.
Like I could open the can of worms, but I was gonna say like it was for the better. Like I think like you had so many years of just excellent Rockets teams that were fun to watch. Yeah. Like it's worth it, man.
I have so many fond memories. I'm glad they're retiring the jersey. I'm surprised it came this early. It's literally the season that he left.
Yeah, I was thinking the same thing. Like it's really quick.
But
I think it's like a half apology, I guess, for how they kind of treated him in that departure.
Yeah. Hey, and he said something along the lines of in his message. He said this isn't like, you know, the classic like this doesn't mean goodbye or like whatever. Or it's farewell, not goodbye, whatever the hell that saying is. Anyways,
I feel like Harden really just wants to go win that one championship right off the bat. I feel like he would win a championship.
Come back.
Yeah, that's what I feel like he would do. Like I could see him doing that.
I'd love it. I'd be down. Well, it depends on what we got established at that time, really. I guess.
Yeah.
Christian Wood's staying in my squad.
There you go.
Anything else anyone wanted to cover before we call it a pod?
Wait, so that was just that. I was looking at show notes. What do you got, Fred?
I was just say it happened actually the day after our last pod, it was Habs firing Claude Julien, which was a big deal because he was 5 years. Yeah, and like, you know, I think it's a pretty big deal. The Habs were on quite a little. They started off so hot. They were like 8-1-2 or something, and now they're on their last 7 games. Or like, I don't know, like they probably got a couple wins there, man. It's pretty brutal. So, anyways, they got Dom coming in now, who's a fantastic coach. He's been with them for years too,
and he won the World Juniors.
As assistant coach. He won the World Juniors. Yeah. Like, yeah, he's good. So let's see how he's gonna do.
I think it's good. It's nice to have that. I know, like, did was Claude Julien like he was hired by Bergevin, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
But that was early on in Bergevin's like tenure. Like it wasn't that deep in, because usually there's a thing that goes around hockey. It's usually like, you know, the GM has their coach. It's like their planned coach. After that, it's like they're on the hot seat.
Right.
That's the way it usually is in hockey, and like that was the thing that was going around like Toronto Maple Leafs land like the last year, right? Because like it takes a lot, at least up to that point. It takes a big reasoning to fire Mike Babcock.
Yeah,
especially after the success he's had in the league and whatnot. Like after he was gone, it's like it was to fire Mike Babcock for Sheldon Keefe, because that was Dubas's coach like for forever, like going up through like all junior like teams and whatnot. Every team that Dubas ran, like he always pulled Sheldon Keefe along as his coach.
Yeah.
So now he has him, and Toronto right now, this kind of like segues into my topic too, but I want to stay on yours too, Fred, because I think like the coaching thing is fun to talk about. But like at the same time, it shows just the success, like to have like that GM coaching like relationship, how like it makes that seamless, like there's no issues regarding roster composition, like they're on the same page, and it's a huge thing.
Exactly.
And it makes me wonder if that's the same way it's been for for Montreal. Like if Dominic Ducharme was always that coach,
he's been brought up, and he's always been there too.
Yeah.
Yeah, so this is what I'm hoping for. Like, okay, Babcock was like this amazing coach, he's won a cup, blah, blah, blah. But once they got rid of him, and now Keefe is going into his system. Now the Leafs have been pretty dominant. No, they're dominant right now. Yeah. So I'm just hoping, like, okay, yes, it's a lot to fire Julian. Like he's a renowned coach.
But now you got this young 5-on-5 coach.
Yeah.
In the league.
Which Montreal are great on, but special teams, they're complete garbage. So, if this might be something, it might not be the best Habs team this year, but maybe next year Montreal will be better. So that's what I'm hoping for. We'll see.
And like all the pieces are there, right? Like Montreal's, they got the players and they got the depth and everything, right?
Yeah.
It's just
you got the young blood coming up. They got prospects galore. Like you got Caulfield coming out, who's the leading scorer in the NCAA right now. He's unstoppable. The guy cannot stop scoring. He's like putting up Ovechkin numbers. Like he's that good.
So there's excitement there because you just like put him on a power play in Montreal.
Yeah. And you got like Romanov, who is like Markov right now, like for the Habs. Like the guy is just a shutdown guy. He's exciting to watch. He's fast, throws hits. He doesn't score, but that's okay. He does everything else right, which is what you want.
So it's promising.
It's always exciting when you got some. It's exciting, but kind of nerve-wracking as well when you get like changes in either GMs, coaches, whatever. So we'll see. We'll see what happens. Josh, were you saying you were going to?
Bergevin's been around 8 years. Yeah, so I was just going to say Bergevin's been around for like I think 8 years. So he's got to do something now. He's had a good team. He came into a good team and then he went down. And it's like they've been poor, and now he's brought them back up. Yeah.
And now he did the coaching fire. Like he's gotten rid of Claude Julien, who's renowned. Like now it's Ducharme. So just like I was saying this about Sheldon Keefe last year. Like or not Sheldon Keefe, but like Dubas last year. As soon as he fired Mike Babcock, brought on Sheldon Keefe, is the same thing. Now he's on the clock, right?
Yeah.
So it's like if the team doesn't perform after that fire, that's it. Like Dubas is the next one to get fired. So it'll be the same thing I think for Bergevin. Like it's like now that he's pulled in his coach, he's got Ducharme there. That's the one that he planned to have. Like he groomed Ducharme to be the head coach of the Montreal Canadiens. Like it's now do or die for Bergevin. And I think Alex, you were saying like I was segueing. I was pretty much segueing into that. Like I was going into like kind of the Leafs talk. I just wanted to just like subtly throw that in there because I'm like my team is the best in the league right now. And I'm sitting atop my throne and just enjoying things.
You're in a spot that we all want to be in. Especially me and Tyrell right now. We kind of crave a little bit of success.
Yeah. It's funny too, because I was telling Josh about how I'm like, once Austin Matthews goes down, I'm like, that's it. You're going to start losing. He went down and then they shut the team out. It was like 3-0.
They had 2 shutouts in a row.
Well, no, I guess I'm wrong.
Yeah. And it was funny. We mentioned this last night too, Fred. Like, and it's funny. It's like, I'm at that point now and I'm going to savor this a lot, but like I get to watch those late night road swing games where your team goes on the West Coast and the game doesn't start until 11 o'clock at night, 12 o'clock at night.
Yeah.
That happened last night. And I got to enjoy the fact that I got to watch the first period and they were winning 3-0 and I got to go to sleep and wake up and they won. I'm like, that doesn't happen anymore. Like I'm on top of the world right now as a Leafs fan. So
there's one more thing I want to talk about before we wrap it up. Really quickly, I can't remember his last name, but Zlatan from formerly MLS.
Zlatan Ibrahimovic.
He is stated, directed towards LeBron. I can't remember where it came from. He said, LeBron's phenomenal at what he's doing, but I don't like when some people have some kind of status, they go and do politics at the same time. Mm-hmm. Do what you're good at. Do the category you do. I play football because I'm the best at playing football. I don't do politics. If I would be a politician, or if I would be a political politician, that's a quote, by the way, I would do politics. That is the first mistake people do when they become famous and they become in certain status. Stay out of it. Just do what you do best because it doesn't look good.
So
comments, Tyrell. It looks like you have something brewing there.
Oh,
Man, how many times people are gonna go at LeBron like about there's like a political stances? Like there's that lady with like a shut up and dribble
That's the classic.
fiasco. Like nothing ever works out for those people ever.
No. And yeah, it just ends up becoming like, sure, shut up and dribble became a movement. That stupid phrase became a movement.
So, just to put some context on it, like Zlatan, like Ibrahimovic, like he's always been this character.
Outspoken.
Like he's outspoken,
Controversial.
but he never says anything. He never really says anything that's wise. Like he's always like here. This is the best way that I can put it. He's one of those guys that refers to himself in the third person.
Yes. Yeah.
So like he's like one of those guys. You know what I mean? Like he's like full of confidence, but just like says
He does though, and he
like it's verbal diarrhea. So like
so
it doesn't really
foolish.
matter.
Like you watch an interview, he does that.
Yeah.
Does he do that at home?
I don't know, but like
Zlatan needs to pee now.
he's been that way ever since he was like, you know, like a 18-year-old underage player that was almost like
really?
he almost went to Arsenal. Like I know a lot about Zlatan. Like he's been around forever.
Wow.
And he is one of the best soccer players in the world. But that's the funniest thing. Like he's always been like Zlatan does what Zlatan wants. Like he's just a silly dude. Like he's just like a really wacky personality. So like hearing that comment, I feel like it's literally just like it's attention fodder.
Yeah.
Like he's just doing it to be like, I want to see what people say.
And
Like he's just trying to pull people and he's a troll. Like he's being a troll in the moment. So
just to like further clarify, I guess LeBron has responded and essentially said exactly what you'd expect. And then just to close it out, he doubled down and said, "Athletes unite the world, politics divide it. Our role is to unite the world by doing what we do best. Athletes should be athletes, and politicians should do politics." So, in closing, I think that's silly. It's not that LeBron is trying to be a politician. He's just he's using his platform for his view of right and wrong.
You took the words right out of my mouth. That's what I was going to say. It's like he uses his platform for what he believes in. And there's nothing wrong with that. So,
and I'm cool with that.
Yeah. And politics, like politicians actually change stuff. Like you don't have to listen to athletes. They can have politics. You just turn it off. It's not going to change anything. So who cares?
Yeah.
Be honest.
People get really salty about any kind of political mention in their sports. They don't want them to be ruined.
Because sports is your getaway. You know, it's like your getaway. It's what you go enjoy. So you just don't want to be like, you don't want to be listening to politics.
Yeah.
I see where people are.
You see both sides to an extent, but I think I'm with LeBron in using his. I don't get too caught off guard when people mention it. I understand where you're coming from completely and saying that you don't want to be covered in it, and it's an escape. So yeah, I think Zlatan is he's a character. He's weird.
Yeah, he's definitely a character.
He's always been that way.
We'll call it there for this week. We went actually pretty long, a lot longer than I expected. So I appreciate you guys sticking around and pumping out some content with me. It's always appreciated. I'm sure the fans appreciate it as well.
Hell yeah.
This particular episode might take a bit longer, might take a day to get up just because of the few things we bumped into, but that is no problem at all. As always, follow on Spotify, subscribe on YouTube, follow on Twitch, tweet us at the Jersey Tuck. Go watch those Crack That Packs.
Crack that pack.
And we will see you next time. Really appreciate it, guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
See ya.